Join us on the crew of Some Tuesday for a tour by drone and dinghy of the beautiful and breathtaking Anaho Bay in Nuku Hiva, French Polynesia. This is the entrance to the bay, coming from the north, and the bay is very well sheltered against incoming swell, since the swell generally comes from the southeast. Turning south now, you can see the anchorage, which is just nestled inside the fringe coral reef all the way around this bay. It's very unique in the Marquesas Islands, as coral reefs are not common here at all. The locals protect these very carefully, and if you anchor too closely, they're very likely to come out and ask you to move farther out into the bay. Just take a look at this beautiful, crystal clear turquoise water. Absolutely gorgeous from the air, and you can see the reef. As we're coming in here, this is the restaurant in the bay. It's the only one, and it's run by a couple and requires a reservation. Their food is supposed to be delicious, but we didn't get a chance to eat here. They're closed on Mondays. Now turning around and heading back out, we'll head down the beach, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And here's a view of the restaurant from land. They also offer camping. This is us walking on land as we toured the island. It was a short walk all the way around, and the beauty of the coral reef comes through. Palm trees everywhere, grass, well-worn footpaths. This is Main Street. Megan and I cruised down Main Street, enjoyed the beach. There's a little leftover from the bonfire. And look at that beautiful girl just up ahead. Strolling along, enjoying the beauty of this incredible place. It's just surreal. It really is. It's so green and lush. And there's a horse, because of course there is. Just hanging out. We don't know whose he was. He was tied up. His owner was around somewhere. And that's the way a lot of the locals get around. Here you can see the one spot with the sand that goes through the reef. That is the only place you can get your dinghy into the beach. Every other place is surrounded by coral reef, and you would just destroy any boat trying to bring it in. The locals have marked the channel with buoys. So the procedure is you bring in your dinghy, you get to where the water is about 18 inches deep, and you drop an anchor and you hop out and you walk ashore. There's no getting ashore without getting into water that's thigh deep. And that's just fine, because the water is gorgeous. There's another view out to the anchorage. There's plenty of room. When we were here, there were about 10 boats, and it could easily accommodate more. Here's a nice view. You can see how thick that reef is. And when we were out cruising around in the dinghy, you had to be real careful, because once you got a little close, you could have coral heads pop up and take your propeller out or damage your hull real quick and easy. So we kept a pretty careful lookout and just generally didn't get too close unless we were really confident that we had plenty of distance from the reef. So most of the anchoring here is pretty deep. You're generally going to be anchored in 40. We're anchored in 50 feet of water. That catamaran right there in the middle is Some Tuesday, with the white dinghy hanging behind her. This is the church ashore. It's a just adorable little Christian church, open air, and they always had a couple of fires going around it. I meant to look into that and see If there was some kind of spiritual link to why there was always a fire burning or some other practical reason, we really don't know. But there was almost constantly some kind of fire right around it. On this particular day, I was able to fly the drone over, and they had several of them going down below. This fire was built right on the beach. We didn't see anybody around tending it, but it was going. It was smoldering and active flames in it at times. And just looking in from the beach as we turn around here, the church is not, 100 feet behind me. There's Main Street again. And there's the church. From the water, it looks so small, and it is small. But they have some benches inside, and they could probably have 20 or 30 parishioners at service, I suppose. We didn't go to any services there, but we did stop in and say a prayer. Very nicely maintained. And all the grounds around it, I assume, were tended by the church, because the gardens and the grounds all around it, as you can see, are very well cared for. What a view. I almost caught a whole school of fish just jumping through the water. Like, there were 30 or 40 of them jumping. They jumped 10 feet and then they jump another 10. It was really wild, and I almost got it on video. I wish I'd caught it because it was really something to see. I'd never seen anything like that before. I don't know if they were being chased or what that was, but there they are. You can see all the boats. Everyone's anchored relatively close together, respecting the reef and making sure you stay off that and taking care of the bay. Sailors are pretty considerate people all around. The word goes around, nobody's dumping their food scraps in the water because that wouldn't be cool. People are respecting the reef. And here's the inside of the church, which I thought was really pretty. You can see there, they just have benches for service. This again, I believe, was church grounds. Nicely trimmed hibiscus. And then even the palm trees down there appeared to be arranged in a certain order. There's that beautiful girl again. Maybe we should go talk to her. Megan really, really enjoyed this. She must have said 1,000 times, it's just so beautiful. Hi, Megan. I kind of couldn't get enough footage of just all the greenery. It truly is surreal. This little guy kind of amazed me. The waves could wash over him with great force, and he did not budge. He was having a good time chasing after whatever it was he was eating. But look at that wave hit him. He doesn't move an inch. I love it. When we first got to that rock, there were 15 crabs walking around on it, and they get pretty skittish and hide as soon as you approach. Here we are back on Main Street, and this guy's got his mode of transportation. We're not sure what he was picking. He was back in there picking. He had sacks full of something, coconuts or some kind of fruit or something or other. We stopped at a little fruit stand that was just somebody's house and bought some bananas. There's our dinghy with that anchor I was talking about. Just waiting for us to come back, and another view out to the anchorage. All right, back to the drone now. Let's fly out a little bit. So this is the west side of the entrance. And just to orient you, the anchorage is now right behind us in this view. As you come in from the north, this would be to starboard. The way we're oriented now would be as if we were exiting the bay. But as soon as you come around that big point, the wind dies down a bit, the swell dies down. We were still getting a little bit of swell, and it was a little bit of rolly in there, but all in all, quite peaceful. This is the east side, which as we're coming in, that's definitely the wild side of the bay. There's no houses or no settlements over this way. And as we fly in closer, you'll see there were a couple beaches that we came in here, and we buzzed by them on the dinghy, and there was no sign of human life there at all. Just absolutely remote. Incredibly beautiful. And that pass right there is why it's still relatively windy in here. Because the wind coming in from the east cuts right through that pass and blows up the bay. And it'll spin you around a little bit when you're on anchor. I always come up and check at night, and we were swung 180 degrees the other direction in the middle of the night. This is, we came in kind of close here for you can still see how that turquoise water and just how pretty it is. And as we're buzzing down the beach here now, to orient you again, that little church is down here much farther down on the left-hand side, but this is still very remote and just wild beachfront. There's no houses, no nothing up this far on this side of the bay. And right around here, we were told, is where mantas like to school around, and you can go in and go snorkeling with the mantas. Some as big as 6 or 7 foot wingspan. We didn't see any. You can see here the breakers breaking over the reef. So now we're coming down the beach on the southern side. You can see how wild and how shallow it gets there over that coral reef. We spent quite a while just touring in the dinghy, going up and down, and now we're getting down far enough where I think this was a private home. And back here somewhere is a fellow named Roger, who we did not meet, but is fairly famous around here. He grows a whole bunch of different fruits and vegetables and runs a stand where you can buy everything that he grows. And everybody around here knows who Roger is and where Roger lives. And this is when we were doing the dinghy tour along that same beach you were just seeing from the drone. Now you're just seeing it from the dinghy. And as you can see, we kept a bit of distance because of that reef. And it really would be dangerous if you ran the dinghy into it or banged up your prop. So we tend to give the corals quite a bit of respect because you also don't want to damage them, not to mention damaging your boat. So that's about it. Absolutely gorgeous in Anaho Bay, Nuku Hiva, French Polynesia, on the north end of the island. The most beautiful bay out here.